You might have heard about movement, you might have heard about march, you might have heard about campaigns starting off, you might have heard also about organizers, organization trooping behind their candidate to say this is the man, this is the woman, this is that particular candidate we are positioning ourselves towards to really make sure that Nigeria gets better. You get to hear about the articulated movement. You get to hear about the bad movement. You get to hear about the obedient movement. You get to see youths, mommies and daddies trooping out en masse to get involved in one form of solidarity march or the other to canvass for support for their candidates. The big question now is it the true reflection of what Nigerians will be seeing in the forthcoming election, or this just jamboree? It will have no impact, it will have no effect. Or better still, is it a precursor for each candidate to know their faith in the election, to garner enough muscle, enough courage to really give it their all in terms of financial gratification, in terms of emotional gratification? You just name it, to make sure that candidates come out top. When you talk about political parties. Anyway, with me here in the studio, I have two legal practitioners. One very close to me, he is Barrister Emmanuel Obapolo. He's also a human rights activist. Barrister Emmanuel, welcome to TMI on this edition. Appreciate your coming.
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Wiz.
Right. And Barrister Ehigiato. Yes, Gabriel, welcome to TMI.
Thank you, Mr. for having me. Good morning, Nigeria.
So, I want to start off with you, Barrister Emmanuel Obapolo. What do you feel about this solidarity march? You get to see youths, mommies, daddies, children, even the elderly to some extent going to say, this is our candidate, and they'll be marching from one point to the other in various cities across the country.
Solidarity March is a seasonal practice. In an epoch like this, you see people come out to begin to carry out or take part in solidarity for just two major reasons. There are other reasons, but just two major reasons. One, for awareness. Two, for identity. Awareness in the sense that they want to create awareness to the general public, to the people of Nigeria, that look, the time has come again that opportunity has availed itself for us to pick leaders who will for another term or tenure, as the case may be, rule us, wherein whatever those leaders do or act or refuse to do or refuse to act will be visited on us. So to that extent, the people or persons or group of people will now come out to create awareness to the people so that informations will now be dished out for a preferred candidates or preferred candidates, or to sell out their party and the party's manifesto to the people of Nigerians, particularly to those who are not close or who are not sensitive enough to which political party or candidate to cast their vote for. On the other hand, for identity, they will come out to identify with a particular political party or parties, as the case may be. And in so doing, you begin to see what they call cross-carpeting, you begin to see what they call flying, you begin to see what they call jumping, you begin to see what they call, whatever adjective will be used to qualify that period. So basically, the essence and the impact of the process or the epoch we find ourselves now is just for these two major reasons, like I earlier said, for awareness and for identity.
awareness and identity. Over to you now, Barrister Gabriel. You share his views and opinions.
Well, solidarity march have become a ritual practice carried out by supporters of various political parties, supporters of various candidates, as the case may be. Solidarity march is what occurs once there is an election. Have become a practice in every election year. So it's not surprising to us. When you take a critical political analysis and a closer look at the Constitution, Section 40, and then the Constitution, give room for peaceful assembly and for freedom to join any political movement, any association one believes in, except be restricted by Section 45, Section 1 of the same Constitution. So it's a season. It's like church having their annual convention, and the members are here, dangling here and there, to exercise their right and to also create that awareness and to also give an identity, just as my colleague has said, to the political party they belong, the identity to identify with the group that they belong. But the issue is this: what is the sincerity of this march? What is the identity of purpose of this march? Because it's surprising. A political party will come out today and say we are having 1 million march. The next day another political party will say we are having 2 million march. The next another political party will say we are having 10 million march. So you look at it as a competition. And the same person you find in this march for this political party, and the same kind of person you are still going to find in the other. So that's why what is the sincerity of purpose? You know, to me it looks like a church play. That's why I say it's an annual ritual practice. That once there's an election, there must be a solidarity march. In Lagos, for example, the Labour Party have over 2 million march, and the next day the APC said they are also having their own. And I think a man in Lagos, I don't want to mention his name, is also planning to also have his own solidarity march. So I will not be surprised tomorrow. Mr. Obata also have his own solidarity march. So, but what is the sincerity of this march? Because the same person you see in this group, the next day also in the other group. So to me, I think there is more to it, but only time will tell the sincerity of this purpose.
All right. So there is more to it because you get to see the same crowd. People like saying that because of the hunger in the land is too much, that some political parties organize march by influencing some of these persons with money. Hence, they are going out there to see what they can really get for the day. Others are saying no. It is from their mind. It is their conviction. It is what they thought they can do to turn sort of Nigeria around. Barrister Mamo.
You cannot remove the fact that so many persons do it for certain purposes or purposes, as the case may be. You cannot remove that fact. Particularly what we've seen over the years, wherein you see people are giving money, some group of persons giving money to get what is called paid crowd.
Paid crowd?
Yes, to carry out whether solidarity march, whether consolidated march, whether a rally, whatever it may be called. And you see, after that, those persons disappear and enter into their various homes. Most of the persons who come out to engage in solidarity march or whatever march it is called are not even card-carrying members of that political party. That is where the issue of for a certain purpose wherein the march is carried out, or you see persons joining the march. But just now, I think there is a little twist. Just now.
A twist?
Yes. Wherein we've now seen the youth are now attempting to take the bull by the horn. And there is this mass support, so to speak, for a particular political party, that is the Labour Party, where you see youth coming out engage in the rally or the march or whatever it is called, because the youth are feeling that two major political parties and the leadership of the country today as it stands have not done well or have not been fair to them. So because of that, there is this strength, there is this enthusiasm, there is this support, there is this cry for them to come out and to identify themselves with a particular political party or group, wherein it will be a springboard for the youth to get into the position of leadership. So as it is, you cannot absolutely remove that fact. We still see today some persons still do that. We just like my learned friend said, somebody just is organizing a rally today in Lagos State, the person of MC Olomo as he is called. So that person also has an interest, and we know where the interest is coming from and where the interest is going to. So you see that most of the persons who engage in practices like this are doing it for certain purpose, either for their self-benefit or for the benefit of a particular group.
Benefit a particular group. Now, does this translate, or will this translate to the election, Barrister Gabriel? The crowd you see in this solidarity march or walk, you get to see children, you get to see youths, you get to see the elderly coming out to say this is our preferred candidate. Do you see it translating into the election?
Well, we also hope that the zeal will not die down, because people are frustrated, to be frank. People are tired of previous and even present governments, and an average Nigerian is becoming more politically enlightened to change the status quo. But be that as it may, I was on here a few days ago with an INEC official. INEC has started shouting again. There are people to come and collect their PVC. Instead of moving around the street and forming solidarity, they should go and collect their PVC. People came out so much enthusiasm to register for PVC. Even when they said they were tired and they needed to stop the exercise, some persons went to court to say no, we must continue the restoration of PVC. Now they've registered, but we are surprised that a large number of those who are registered have not collected their PVC. So we do not know exactly what is the problem. When you go to any office and speak with you, that missing, there are a lot of PVC like that they follow that have not been collected, and we wonder if it's even ready. If the people are ready to go and collect their PVC. So instead of the time you use the solidarity movement running up and down, go and collect your PVC, because solidarity movement is not what we calculate for voting that day. People need to go and collect their people. We need to, what they want political party to start doing, not even solidarity movement, what they want to start doing is sensitizing the people, is encouraging the people, is changing their enthusiasm and speaking them up to go and collect their PVC so that they can vote on the day of election. Not solidarity movement, because the person you see in the APC solidarity movement, I probably the same person will also see PDP solidarity movement. Even there are even allegations that some of those solidarity movements are propelled by money. They are being paid to come out. Some other doers, they are being forced. In Lagos, we have so many of such reports. So solidarity movement will not transfer into voting that day. What will make voting count is your PVC. Vote and defend your vote. That is what will make voting count. So I'm surprised that in this country, here's the way it has always been. We do not pursue our priority. We pursue frivolity. We pursue things that does not hold water, that does not carry weight. People should go and collect their PVC. That is what we count on that day. I'm talking about the solidarity movement, emanating to the election. It is those that vote that their vote will be counted. I promise you, listen, some people that are jumping up and down for me or in the name of the solidarity movement will be in the house that day. So we say that they are being held by rain, So we said the sun is too much. There must be one excuse or the other. So we said they are tired, they labor, over-labored yesterday, so therefore they cannot come out today to vote. So I do not believe in solidarity movement. Even if I believe in forming solidarity, but I do not believe in that solidarity movement. Because the same person you see today, I same person will also see the other time. The bottom line is this: people should go and collect their PVC and vote during this election.
All right, now he said it may not translate into the election. Do you share his views and opinions? Because some people like, really, I'm tired. It's raining. In the dialect, they've said it at times. How do they speak that again? We no need to even go be campaigning, so our career will come out top. I mean, take it up from there.
You know, the situation just now is that the leadership and our politicians have deliberately, consciously weaponized poverty. So poverty is now human in Nigeria. The people are not only feeling poverty, the people can not only touch poverty, the people can also see poverty as human in Nigeria. And for that reason, any opportunity that will bring something, no matter how minute or infinitesimal it is, you see the people wanting to grab it. And this calculated attempt by the leadership, by the politicians, have made the people to dance here and there. Where you see people begin to dazzle. Today, just like my little friend said, they are in party A. Tomorrow party B is coming out, they are there. Every attempt for any gathering, they are there. Hence something is going to come out of it, and they can put it in their pocket no matter how it is. So that is the position just now. The plight of an average Nigerian is really a position that warrants any person to begin to go for anything that will put food on his table. And that is why you see the politicians have taken advantage of that. Even when you see here today that there is 2 million solidarity march in so place for XYZ political party, you will hear them come on air. Their spokespersons will come on air and say, don't mind all this one. There are no more than 4 people. There are no more than 3 people. Because they themselves, they know what they have done on ground. Wherein they've weaponized poverty for the people. So they are depending on weaponizing poverty as against the people of Nigeria. So the people of Nigeria, I will admonish that it is time not to touch poverty. It is time not to feel poverty. It is time not to see poverty, but it is time to see a better Nigeria. And it is you and me that will make the better Nigeria. First, go out, collect your BVC now, because INEC is shouting, come and take your BVC. Don't wait until the dying minute before you will not give INEC, because even INEC is looking for excuses. Let us not give INEC excuses. Rather, let's go and collect our PVC and keep it safe somewhere, so that on that day, come February 2023, we will all go out and change the narrative. The narrative just now is terrible, and we need to change it for the betterment of Nigerians.
All right, now you get to see on the page of the social media, talking about the screen, different social media platform, they are like saying that this march or this solidarity work is having a great toll on the candidates. Hence, they are reacting to what they are seeing. Do you feel that this solidarity work or march is really having this effect on various political parties' candidates?
Well, to me, just as I said earlier, I do not believe solidarity work or march or movement or whatever. I think they are trying to, the people are actually trying to see how to drag the candidate out to the public. Because we have not seen any solidarity movement, for example, where the candidate of the party itself is part of the movement. We have not seen. All we are seeing are just people making up jamboree, running up and down, all the name for the solidarity movement. Where are the candidates? I have not seen Peter Obi, for example, moving on solidarity movement with his people. Never have seen that of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Never have even seen that of Atiku Abubakar. I have not seen. So the candidate posture and the candidate appearance on this solidarity movement is highly required, and it will have a long way to go. It will boost the morale of the people. It will boost the morale of their supporters. It will boost the morale of the party members. But we are not seeing that. What we are seeing is that they are behind the corner, they are behind the camera, and we are just seeing people flooding the streets of every city of this country and forming solidarity movement. But be that as it may, I think the end will tell. We will know who is actually on the solidarity of this country, who is actually trying to make things hard to work out for this country. We know it's not by solidarity movement. It's not. But all the time, we express itself on the genuineness or the path to liberate our country. We will know. Just our time will tell.
Just time will tell. Now, you get to see throws on the social media platform because particular celebrities choose to partake in the march. Okay, fine. Joker Silva partook in the march for a certain candidate, and it was like many persons on the social media platform, they wear on her neck. Say, why would you do this? Why would you do that? Come on, has it got into that to the extent that it's like my candidate versus your candidate? If you're for this candidate, you become my enemy openly or secretly. Barrister Emmanuel, take it up from there.
Well, just now, the politicians have deliberately divided. Before now, we have what we call the rich, the middlemen, and the poor. But today, we only have the rich and the poor. And I do not think the person of Joker Silva belongs to the downtroders. So, if it's a choice, if she chooses to align with the rich as she is, then good for her. But just now, let me quickly react to my learned friend comments on the ground that he does not believe in this solidarity. Before now, I do not believe in solidarity. But just now, I believe in this one. The reason why I believe in this one? Yes, I believe in this one. The reason why I believe in it is that the people are only expressing their anger. The people have been looking for ways to ventilate their anger. And this solidarity just now is an expression of the anger of the people of Nigeria. And that is the singular reason why I believe in it. However, whether or not it is going to translate in the forthcoming election is another issue. It's another issue in itself. So, just now, if you see the persons who are aligning or who are giving their weight to a particular group of person or persons, you begin to know the class the person belongs to. So, in Nigeria today, the downtroders are keen to a particular political party and a particular candidate, while the bourgeoisie, as the case may be, are also aligning themselves with a particular candidate. Maybe because something good is going to come out. You know, some persons are experts. Good. Some persons are experts with bullion van. So the bullion van syndrome is still in anticipation. So when you anticipate that a bullion van will visit you in your home, what would you do? As for the fact that you belong to a class, you will key to that side. But if you know that bullion van is not going to come to you, you will key to the ones that don't have bullion van. So just now, Nigeria has been divided into two. If for nothing, but because of the maladministration of the present regime. And that is why Nigerians are saying, no, we will express our anger. And that is the expression of the anger. The solidarity you are seeing today, 80% of the solidarity you are seeing today is born out of anger. And I do believe in it.
Over now to you. He said it believes in it due to the fact that Nigerians are tired of what is happening. They are angry and they're expressing their anger. That it may just be what they felt or what they are feeling. But if it's going to be a true reflection in the election, he doesn't know for sure.
Well, listen, Nigerians are people who are easily, you know, who can easily change their mind.
Easily change their mind?
Yes. That is what we know. Yeah, I agree to the fact that, you know, a lot of Nigerians have been put in abject poverty and they have seen to, you know, balkanize the electoral processes. All of these are done by our politicians. Nigeria has never been as divided as it is now. I agree with you. Nigerians have never been as divided as it is, and it is because of the impact our political system have had in us. But be that as it may, Everybody have a right to support the candidate they want to support. Everybody have a right to belong to whatever association they feel can benefit their interest. And do not forget, sir, that there are politicians or people who we call practical politicians or political practitioners. They have interest. You see, there's only a particular candidate. It is because that is where their interest lies. Because politics is all about interest. Politics is all about interest. Interest is what drives, is the key that drives politics. So when people do not support the other party or candidate, it doesn't make them evil nor bad per se. It is where their interest lies. These are politicians. Then when you talk about persons who are neither here or there, it is also where their interest lies. They don't have any stake. So what we are saying is that the country that we divided, now it is not today Nigeria's division started. It has always been on either political lineage or the religious lineage. That's where Nigeria have always been divided apart. So we shouldn't look at it that, simply because of politics, Nigeria because so divided. Let's also look at religious factors that have also contributed to this division. But what we are saying, I keep saying it, and I will say it again, Nigerians are people who can easily change their mind. We just hope that this enthusiasm, this burning spirit that the average Nigerians have imbibed into themselves will actually, reappear and make an input and an impact in the 2023 general election. Just as I said before, I will say it again. The INEC has started shouting again that PVC and life follows in the INEC office. People have refused to pick up their PVC. And before you know it, election will get it closer, and somewhere around January or 2 weeks to election, you see the INEC office crowded by people just to go and pick their PVC. And people that start saying, hey, INEC is wicked, INEC is dark, a particular political party have joined INEC. Now PVC are there, nobody have gone there to even pick their PVC. INEC is still chatting. So, however, sir, let's see how it will be. Let's see what the journey is going to reflect. 2023 is a great year for all of us, and it's a decisive year. But let's hope that the best candidate emerge.
All right. Now, it was alleged that after a solidarity march by a particular political party, it was rumored that the candidate of the APC, Tinubu, was like, his pictures of face online in a shredder, so to speak, showing Nigeria that he is very, very fit, that he really wants to work for Nigeria. And of course, you get to see Atiku also dancing to a Davido song. That was what was done on the social media. If it's really true, if it's anything to really go by. Now, bringing all these things together, can one really deduce that change is in the hands of Nigerians because of the reactions of these candidates?
I think it is time for Nigerians to change the narrative. Now, let me start with the candidate of the whole Progressive Congress. We saw him on a bicycle. And one good aspect of that bicycle is that that bicycle was stationary. It was not a moving bicycle.
You're just keeping fit.
What does that symbolize? It symbolizes that Nigeria will be stationed.
Barrister, hold it. Barrister, hold on.
It is my opinion.
Barrister Mono, even if it's your opinion, I wouldn't want you to give an interpretation to what it isn't. Please, we're on air.
Can't I interpret? For goodness sake, can't I interpret?
Of course you can interpret, but
good.
Come on. Let's be...
Listen, I am seated here, and somebody will take a picture of me that Barrister Emmanuel Obakpolo was on air and telling Nigerians what Nigerians should need to do to vote him to power while he is seated. And somebody will not believe me. Nigeria will not move if I'm seated. I anticipated that bicycle should be a moving one.
The bicycle the bicycle was moving. If you go to the gym,
that is an exercise machine.
The bicycle.
Listen, these people think they can come up with their gimmicks as it used to be. Yes, just like my little friend said, that Nigerians are gullible people. I, for one, agree with that, and I've said it in this platform. That Nigerians don't learn from history. Nigerians only make history negatively. But I do hope that Nigerians will change this narrative now. we are going to make history positively. We don't want a man that will be in a stationary bicycle. We don't want a man that will dance to the music of Davido, that he cannot even dance the dance as it was in Davido. The man could not even shake his body. It shows that the man was stationary too. This is not the time to dance. Dancing will not take us anywhere.
You are going to write those interpretations because right now, Barrister Emmanuel, please. I know it's your opinion. I know it's your interpretation, but many people will not agree to this interpretation.
Before Joe Biden emerged as the American president, was there anywhere in the platform that he was dancing? I don't know.
Is it a crime to dance?
It is not a crime to dance, but
is it a crime to exercise?
This one that they do, they are trying to prove their fitness to you and me.
But they are fit.
They are not.
They have not come out.
They are not fit mentally.
Okay, hold on now.
They are not fit mentally.
Gabriel, over to now react to his assertion. He gave an interpretation to what he saw.
That bicycle is not a station bicycle. We use that bicycle every day. When you go to the gym, the bicycle are there. We use it every time. It wasn't a station bicycle. It's not a bicycle using battery. No, you could see the more the bicycle. You want part of the bicycle. So when you are saying it's a station bicycle, I wonder if you go to the gym, if you are a person who goes to the gym just like we, in the GRA houses and when we have good gym sessions there, you can see that bicycle was not a bicycle that was a station. No, it was a moving bicycle. But being that as it may,
it's called exercise bikes.
Yeah, being that as it may, sir. I think the status and the physical fitness of this candidate is not what is left for us to justify. We have not seen the situation where any of those candidates were rushed to the hospital.
But Nigerians are concerned about that.
Don't forget,
they are concerned about it.
Yes, Nigerians are concerned. But we have not a situation where any of them were rushed to the hospital. Have you seen a situation where a camera to camera it and you see any of those candidates being rushed in an ambulance on emergency fora? We have not seen such. So we cannot give such to make call it allegation. We cannot make such allegation because we have not seen such situation. The only thing we are seeing is that a man was exercising on the bicycle and the other man was dancing. Anybody can dance. I mean, I danced yesterday. So it doesn't matter. They are presidential candidates. So the media will definitely focus on them and even into their private life. So to me, that is not a justification. I think my colleague should leave that out of the bomb.
but Nigerians are talking about it.
Yes,
they are saying that these guys are not fit according to some Nigerians.
As I said, they are presidential candidates and they are people of interest, national interest for that matter. So the reality of cameras being victory to their private life is there. So we cannot stop that. I mean, it's there. So there are things you do as a person when you become a public figure and what have you. Camera, people seem to be concerned about you. Camera seem to be over you. So to me, that is not a justification at all. So the bicycle, to me, I don't believe it's a station bicycle. I mean,
no, it's a manual upright bike for exercise. Manual upright bike. Yeah.
We see you can give it
whatever. Please calm down.
We see you can give it whatever.
Don't get emotional about this.
I know where it belongs to.
Calm down.
You can give it whatever name you want to give to it. But this is my opinion. It's a stationary bicycle.
You are entitled to your opinion.
But it's an exercise upright manual bike.
Listen.
Is it a crime? So why would you give such an interpretation for crying out loud?
Nigerians don't need to see him on bike. The day you live your private life, when you choose to live in your private life, nobody asks you any question. But the day you come out to be a public man, people ask you questions. Are you also saying that Nigerians are not entitled to know the health status of the presidential candidate?
They are.
What are we talking about?
They are.
Nigerians are entitled to that. So they should come out. How many of them have come out to say this is my medical certificate? Then you are riding stationary bicycle and you say I should clap hand that the man is healthy.
If the law empowers that.
Hold on. None of them have come out to show Nigerians that are health certificate status.
No.
None of the candidates.
No.
So why do you not peculiar about one or two political parties?
The reason is that they came out to show us that they are fit. Health-wise.
Is it not because of what some Nigerians are saying that they're not fit?
It is the certificates that will prove to us whether they are healthy or not.
Are you now saying that they should come with the certificates? Is that what you're saying right now? They should come with the certificates.
They should come out with it. They should. Then we will go and verify it. We go and verify.
Over to you, say they should come with the certificates. so that they'll get to know if they're really fit for office.
No. If there's any law that stipulates that, I think my land colleague should let me know.
Is there a law that stipulates for him to be riding bicycle?
Is there any laws that
stipulates for him to be riding bicycle?
That you show I have the floor.
Hold on, he has the floor.
I have the floor.
He has the floor.
If there's any law that stipulates that they should provide us with their health certificate, they should go ahead. But to me, I don't see any law such. I don't see any law. The man is here exercising himself and he's trying to have a nice time. It can happen to anybody. Anybody can. As I told you, yesterday was Saturday. I was at the gym. So assuming I have a camera and I said with your mother or ITV come and film me, you will see me also riding on the same bicycle. So it's not a stationary bicycle. I mean, the man in question who we saw on bicycle, it's not 2 years old or 5 years old that we have to be on a stationary bicycle. So there is no law. In fact, whatever those two candidates have done shows that they are physically fit. Because if you are not physically fit, you cannot be paddling on the bicycle. If you are not physically fit, you cannot be dancing. So it shows that they are physically fit. But when you tell you are not talking about mental fitness and what have you, then with me they should carry a test from qualified medical practitioners and they should publish it if the laws demand. But if they don't law, so they cannot be dragging here and there.
Listen. All that
is there a law stipulating that they must present their health certificate?
There must not be a law, because there was no law that guaranteed them to come and display riding bicycle and dancing. There's no law to that.
They were exercising.
There is no. I asked you just now.
Yes.
And Nigeria is not entitled to know their health status. You said Nigerians are entitled. Is there any law that says so? Morally, that is the position. And let me tell you, all of this drama that these men are performing is like a fairy tale in Alice in Wonderland.
Wow. Interesting. It's getting heated up right now in the studio from what they are saying, from the way they are talking, their body language is like beginning to get a hint of where they belong, because it is serious and at the same time it's funny. But right now we have 18 political parties, but 3 seem to be championing the cause. They're just like, happy with the fact that it's no longer a 2-horse race. Rather, it's a 3-horse race out of the 18 political parties that are there in Nigeria vying for that coveted seat. Talking about the number 1 seat in Nigeria, the presidency. The president sits, and these 2 political parties, they are doing their best, and their candidates, their candidates, and of course supporters, they are not left out. People are talking about social media trolls, in the sense that in social media you get to see what is really going on occasion because of this march. 1 million march, 2 million march. Is this right for the youth to take that as a weapon to fight against each other on the platform of the social media? Barrister.
Well, you cannot rule that out, because the social media is a platform where the person that is talking to you or communicating with you, you do not see that person, or you are not seeing that person. So the privilege of the person pouring out his or her mind to you is there. And that is why you see at times the vulgarity in the language used by social media users. But be that as it may, I see a situation where already, just like it happened in NSAS, 20th October 2020, wherein another counter group of youth was raised by the government against the genuineness of the youth who came out.
Allegations.
Whether you call it allegations,
those are just allegations, don't forget that.
We have proofs, but it is not here to display the proofs. You two have genuineness to come out and cry for the state of penury, pain, the plight that they have been put to by the government of the day. We saw it happen, and I will not be surprised if that still come up today, because you know why? I did say at the outset of this program that the politicians have weaponized poverty, and as such they are taking advantage of it to see that they peg the youth, they peg the future of Nigerians into one angle. But let me tell you, it is very, very sad and painful that the today Nigeria, yesterday, has become tomorrow. And that is where we find ourselves today. And that's why you see all of this reaction. So anything that will make any person to benefit little, to put in his or her stomach, to pay house rent, you see them engaging in it. But I pray that the narratives will be changed.
Over to you now, Gabriel. You heard him?
Yes. Well, we all know that 60% of things that emanated from the internet are not true. So we all know, is there?
Will you say 60%
Yes,
or less than 60%?
And they are not true. All of these are just design, graphic design, and what have you. So they are not true. Just the way he said. Most of the people on social media are not their true reflection. What you see also, a man can be a mechanic and on social media is a professor. So it doesn't change the narrative at all. The narrative is the reality on the outer world, not on social media. So because somebody is having 2 million match on social media, 1 million, all of these are edited works. Most of them are not real. It is when the campaign begins. Then one will know who is actually having a solidarity match. So I do not believe in all of those political rascality and moving here and there. So whatever is on social media, just the way my friend said just now that we're talking about the bicycle. That is a statutory.
Let's leave bicycle out of this, Barrister Gabriel. Barrister Gabriel, please. Let's leave bicycle out of this.
That is because it's when it's on social media. It was privileged to be there. He won't say that it was a state on the bicycle.
Barrister Gabriel, please. This one I say overruled.
Let's leave that.
This bicycle is hitting the
social media. A lot of things on social media are not real. So that's why I do not believe in social media interpretations. Even when cases are in court, for example, you see people who are not even lawyers coming up and start interpreting whatever there is in court and giving their own interpretation and analysis as if they are lawyers or they are the judge in the matter. So I don't believe in the impact of social media. But be that as it may, social media have also been used as weapon to either destroy the person or to raise the profile of a person. That is one of the reasons I do not believe in social media.
All right. Well, you've heard them. It's all about the already work of the supporters of this candidate, the impact in the election. They've spoken at length. We're talking about this because, believe it or not, we've heard of some persons saying they are coming out 1 million march. Others are saying this is 2 million march. I just keep on wondering how high would the number be as the election draws near? Is it going to be 20 million march or 10 million march? I do not know. But do you foresee a situation whereby opposing forces, because of this march, may clash if not well handled?
Yes, already there is a conspiracy between the two major political parties as against the purported third force, the Labour Party. There is a conspiracy. If you see their body language, if you see their conduct, you begin to know. When you listen to their spokespersons, you begin to know the finger, where the finger is pointing to, the direction the finger is pointing to. But that, I don't think that will be any threat to Nigerians. Nigerians are the ones that will make the decisions. That's why the election is called Nigerians Decide or Nigeria Decide. Nigerians are the ones that will make the decision. Just now, they cannot cajole Nigerians again. The era of cajoling Nigerians is over. Just now, Nigerians are tired because a particular political party told us in 2015, change. They started singing it. It became a song. Later on, they say third level, next level. And their presidential candidate just now is telling us, I am the hope of Nigerians. Can you imagine that? So Nigerians are the ones that will take the decision. And I do know and I hope that Nigerians will change the narrative, because the conspiracy will not deter Nigerians from taking their decisions. They can no longer swindle Nigerians the way they used to, because Nigerians are the ones getting the hit. How many of them are their children here? Their children are not even resident in Nigeria. And we know as the election is drawing closer, they will begin to evacuate their children more and send them somewhere to go and get peace and get rest of mind, while Nigerians will be the one that will be troubled and disturbed. Is that not what we'll be going through all these years? We saw some time ago in Kogi State, some persons knelt down, were begging Kogiites to elect a particular governorship candidate. Today, how are the people of Kogi faring? We are no more going to listen to kneeling down or begging or whatever. We are not. We want to change the narrative by ourselves. And I think that is the only thing that should be done.
Barrister Gabriel, I like this. I'm just feeling like a judge right now. Two legal practitioners, opposing forces, giving reasons why they are speaking the way they are speaking. They are giving facts for, against. Now, you heard him. He said there is a conspiracy against the third force purported right now, alleged conspiracy that this might happen to this or this might happen to that. Do you see that happening if they are not well managed or well checked? Do you see two groups or three groups clashing because of this already work? Maybe a group want to make their work or take their work on a particular day. The other group want to stage their work also on that same particular day.
I do not expect any clash.
Why? Because he said it's a conspiracy already.
Because everybody has the right to support whoever they want to support. If I'm supporting a particular candidate and you are supporting the other candidate, I don't expect us to have any clash because we have freedom of association as enshrined in section 40 of the Constitution. So I don't expect that at all. But of course, you can also shy away from that. There are people who are naturally violent, who are naturally very destructive, who want to destroy the other man simply because he's not supporting his candidate, who want to force the other person simply because he's not supporting his candidate. As a matter of fact, when you go to the street and you are not, people find you are not supporting a particular candidate, they can even kill you for it if it's not taken. They can even murder, they can even assassinate you. And the case may be. So people are not even scared to identify with other candidates simply because you do not identify with their own candidate. I don't want to mention names. We all know them. They are in the street. So they are forcing us to support their candidate. As if supporting their candidate is our constitutional right. Everybody has a right to support whoever they want to.
So maybe said they're violent.
Yes. So person are violent. I don't want to call them. I don't know what they call them.
Should I? Hold on, no. He has the floor. Let him finish. Let him hear that violent.
In fact, there is what we do. What I see some other political party do. Yeah. They have become evangelists. Trying to evangelize to people, trying to cajole them, trying to make them see the reason to support them, trying to make them see the light. Not those who have become hostile, who are threatening you day and night and say you don't support their candidates, they will do this, they will do that. So some people, I don't know if they come into government, if they're going to change everybody away from this country. I'm scared. Listen, I'm scared.
Why the hostility?
But we pray that the candidate that will secure our life, the candidate that will give us hope, the candidate that will give us a better tomorrow emerge as the president of this nation. Not with due respect, charlatan, noisemaker, breaking the street and constituting what we call lawful assembly and constituting what we call, unguided assembly and what have you. So we believe that hope has come. And 2023 is a better time. I'm not campaigning for any political party. I'm not an apologist for good governance. Yeah. What I keep saying is that allow those that want to support Mr. A to support Mr. A. Allow those that want to support Mr. B to support Mr. B in peace. Do not drag us because you are supporting Mr. C that we must also support Mr. C. That's why I'm having problem with these people. But big as it may be, 2023 is a decisive year. It's a year for us to speak one voice. Before collecting our permission, because I have another guest waiting for us here, we have something you need to really talk about. He accused a particular sect of persons to be violent, very, very violent, intimidating our opponent because they just sprung up from nowhere. Now they're like, we are the generation and all that. What have you to say about this?
A hungry man is what?
Are you asking me?
A hungry man is an angry man. We will chase them away from
Is that why they are violent?
We are not violent.
Is the election about violence?
They are not. Listen. Those who have plunged Nigeria into where Nigeria is today should be chased away from Nigeria. If that is what will bring sanity in Nigeria. But I am not an advocate of violence. I want to let my learned friend know that he's a young man, he's growing. Maybe because he's a beneficiary of the system just now. But Barrister Gabriel, we are beneficiary system. More Nigerians are in pains. More Nigerians are in penury. More Nigerians are in poverty. P raised to power 3.
Wow.
That is where Nigerians are.
That's high.
So Nigerians want to change the narrative. Those persons, he tamed violent people. They are not violent.
You don't know them. You know the person I'm talking about.
They are not violent. He knows them. And we know himself, we know where he belongs to. And he has just told us that he's scared. You must be scared.
We know where we belong to also.
There is no man that is a Superman. A Superman is a man that has the people behind him. The day the people leave you, you are no longer a Superman. And that is what is going to happen in Nigeria.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for your wonderful opinions. Where you heard them, their opinions. Yes, it has nothing to do with ITV, but it's all about the elections. There's like excitement in the air. There's like what I put in that the atmosphere is charged. You get to see out of 18, it's like a 3-horse race. 3 political parties are dominating the sphere. Whether I want to believe it or not, do we have 18 years? But for presidential candidate, but right now it's like these 3, they are charged, and their supporters are also charged. But you undergoing solidarity work. Don't forget that someone in 2015 said a particular person wins the election is going to trek from one point to the other. Yes, he trekked. And it got to a point, he said he regretted trekking. I don't want to go into that anyway. I don't want to go into that. That is by the way. Now, how about this march? Is it going to be the same story or something different will just come up? Only time will tell. Please, if you are partaking in this solidarity march, it has to be peaceful, and try as much as you can to make sure that the march translates into the election proper, because after you do all these razzmatazz, all these march, and election day, you know they don't have a PVC, it's just a waste of time. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today's show. I appreciate your coming. Please, gentlemen, calm down. It's not violent, okay?
I will escort my leather person. I will escort him.
It's all about peaceful election, and everyone have the right to support whoever they want to support. Have you heard about polio? Have you heard about the Rotary Club, focusing more on chasing, eradicating, eliminating polio? We'll talk about that immediately after this break. We have a Rotarian, yes, a governor, president, or chairman of a particular sect. When you see him, you get a story, and you get to know the importance of you going out there to make sure that your kids are vaccinated against the 6 deadly diseases, because this month, according to a particular calendar, is dedicated to the eradication of polio. Don't go away. We'll be right back.